Welcome to the Spinfoil Theory podcast. Each week we sit down and discuss our favorite lore topics from within the Destiny universe. Specifically, we intend to take a close look at target questions and theories that have been nagging us and the Destiny community as a whole. To that end, our discussions tend to assume you already have some background knowledge of Destiny lore. Despite that, our goal is to be as lighthearted and welcoming as possible, though. So if you have any questions, please feel free to add us. Well, with that out of the way, let's dive into this week's lore topic.
We should click the record button before we
Yes.
start falling down the rabbit hole.
Exactamundo. Exact. So we're gonna be at about round 9.5. All right. Welcome to the Spinfoil Theory podcast. This is your host Taylor-B with my co-host LadyLucida. How are you doing, lady?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Just living. Vibing. I'm vibing in the Tron hacker space. I'm hacker lady.
In the tracker space?
Yes.
In the Tron hacker tracker Tronacker space.
Yes.
We can
Because override. I've done override so many. I've done it 50 times. You wanna know how many grenade launchers I've gotten? 2.
5. Oh.
2.
Okay, I overestimated.
2. And you wanna know how many of them have blinding nades? 0.
None of them have blinding nades?
I just want one with blinding nades.
Saint 14 would
please.
be sad for you.
Saint 14 is sad. And you wanna know how many grenade launchers I have in total that have blinding nades?
2.
0.
You have negative. You might as well have negative at this point.
Yeah, it's been a hard life because
yeah,
I want to have it for the raid.
I'm so sorry.
Blinding blinding nades is
right?
definitely gonna be really good for Templar because of the amount of ads and everything else. My worry is I'm not sure. I guess aside for those who are listening, Taylor and I are on a VOG team.
Oh yeah.
And I guess I'm kind of the leader of the team, I guess. Through, I guess because like
fearless leader.
I am the fearless leader. I'm also a Titan. I'm the only Titan, which is really weird. I basically have to be Titan.
So you're a Titan main now, yeah?
Not necessarily Titan. I mean, for this. Ever since last season, I've just been playing Titan and Go to the Commander, because Go to the Commander is fun.
So, like, hashtag Titan main?
Maybe. I mean, I've always loved my Titan a lot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But Hunter.
Yeah, no,
Warlock.
Hunters are pretty great.
Screams.
Hunters are pretty great. Warlocks, like, no offense to any Warlocks listening, I can't play any class that propels you downward in their jump.
Yeah, no, their jump is kind of...
It's a little fakakta.
A little different.
Yeah.
That's why I like Titans. Titans are a little bit better. Their jump, you go up like a rocket. But anyways. I just really want blinding nades, and I'm sad.
Someday.
Because someday. I hope I'll get it before the raid. If I don't... I've kind of, I guess, decided that I'm gonna run Relic because I don't have blinding
Well, that's good.
nades. I'll just pop bubble. I'll grab Relic, run to you guys, drop the Relic, pop bubble, pick it back up, and then go in.
Well, I will be there for the handoff in my Lightning Hunter form with
it'll be great.
with my Zora.
Everything's gonna be great.
I'm gonna have my Zora pants on, as directed.
Lord. As directed.
Yeah, no, I haven't read the lore tab yet, but I'm pretty sure the lore will say that a hunter one day saved a Zora prince, and he gave him his pants. His pants armor.
I dig it.
And then, if and when we find the chest and the helmet, then we can breathe underwater. Beat
Hell
that,
yeah.
Warlocks.
Warlocks ain't got shit.
Not even a Guardian games. No, I'm teasing. Warlocks are great.
That's so mean. Don't even talk to the Warlocks.
I know.
And they won't heal you anymore. No more healing rifts for you, man.
I know. That's why I'm apologizing in advance. But with us today is a very special guest. We have NotArf. How are you doing, sir?
Pretty good, thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. For those of you who don't know, or fans of the show might recognize the name NotArf. He's written in a number of times, and he's the head of a quite the to-do clan. I don't mean to toot his horn here, but they're quite large and in charge. So it's a great pleasure to have you on the show here today. Absolutely.
It's really good to be here, but I'm not actually in charge of the clan anymore. I've actually stood down as clan leader.
Oh, well, that's an awkward note. I'll edit out.
No, it's fine. It's just me. I don't have the time to run the clan anymore.
I can dig it.
So I've actually passed it down to a couple of. I'm still in there. I'm still on the Council of Elders.
Ooh, fancy.
But I don't run things anymore. I still have a say in how they're run.
I can dig it. Well, you started something great. You started something big. You started something awesome, and that deserves recognition. And like kudos to you for recognizing when you can't give it the time it needs. I think that's a lot of with a lot of Destiny clans or clans in general when it comes to gaming. That can be something that people try to fight against and don't recognize what's for the best of everyone. So like kudos to you, sir. Kudos to you. But our theory tonight is actually brought to you by our guest maestro. So sir, can you tell us what your theory is about?
Well, it's kind of actually two theories in one. This actually relates down to Elsie Bray and Clovis, or as we know him, Banshee-44. Now, we start with the first part of the theory. Now, this is that actually Elsie Bray is in a time loop. Has everyone seen the old movie Groundhog Day? Now, this gentleman's got a day in this effective film, a day to do what he needs to do, and then he'll reset to the morning. And it resets every time, so waking up with the alarm clock going off. But in Elsie's case, we see her going, especially in the Dark Future lore book, where we actually see her going through, and I presume this actually goes back to when she actually dies, because she was getting pretty beaten up by Anna. And she reset back to a point in time, which we don't know. This is all theory and speculation now. Now, personally, I believe that theory, that reset point, is back just before in the Legacy's Lament lore book, just back to before when that Banshee gets his 44th reset, and he gets reprogrammed. So, in all the time she does her time loop, she learns more and more and more every time she does the time loop. Now, we don't know how many times she's done this, but it can be theorized if you actually listen to how she talks. She's done it a lot. She knows things, how different things have worked, how different scenarios have played out. And she's got an inkling of what will happen in the future. Now, this is where we come into the second part of the theory. Now, this concerns Banshee more than it does Elsie. But Elsie's the main part in this. Now, if we think that Elsie goes back to the point in time just before they reset Clovis and moved on from there before the collapse. Now, if we think about it, after that, Banshee's memories were never right. It was almost like his memory had been corrupted and he had trouble recalling events. Who's to say this wasn't on purpose? What if this is a side effect of the programming that Elsie did to him that he actually agreed to? Now, the theory is that Banshee's memory will slowly return when certain prerequisites are met. The best example of this I can give you is when we opened up the Deepstone Crypt and we defeated Taniks. This then activated a prerequisite in Banshee's memory banks and released the memory of Legacy's Lament. And he was able to give us the information to go and find that sword. Now, Banshee's done this a couple of times now, where he's actually gone. I think the bow was, what was the bow called?
I know what you're talking about, the heavy bow.
Leviathan's Breath.
Yep.
Leviathan's Breath, thank you very much. Where he actually, it came back to him where this bow was to point us in a direction just when we needed this weapon. Because how many times did we yeet the boss of that 6-man activity off the map with Leviathan's Breath? It was the 6-man activity in Forsaken.
Oh,
The
right,
Vex
right.
invasion.
Yeah.
And you just kept on 6 of you with Leviathan's Breath, just shooting in the ground in front of the Hydra, just to knock him off the map.
Bye-bye. There he goes.
But yeah, that is my theory.
I can dig it.
I'll dig it. I dig it. I think it's cool.
I really appreciate it because, the idea that Banshee is suddenly, to your points, or NotArf, as the case may be, but to your points, as Banshee has like suddenly come to like remember certain weapons and certain caches that he's had as time has gone on, and it's become really interesting that if we had to write a story reason for this makes a lot of sense. That he's time gated for certain if this then this events. Which actually goes all the way back to certain Rasputin coding even back in the Golden Age.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that he's built on that same human technology, or built upon that same human technology, I think makes a lot of sense, or at least it makes a lot of arguable sense.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Now, they always say that the memory resets of an exo will affect their memory. Now, this might be the case in a standard exo, but you've got to remember that Elsie and Banshee aren't standard exos. They were built, those exo chassis were built for Brave family members. So they have got the best materials, the best craftsmen. They are your Rolls-Royce hand-built bespoke chassis you can get. They are the best of the best. Now, we already know this by Elsie already having over 800 resets. That's canon. That's actually been mentioned in a lot. I think it was something like 815 resets. Now, you're telling me that. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, is it exo resets or is it resets of the timeline in the loop that you mentioned?
Well, I believe it was exo resets because this was back before. This was in.
Okay.
When they were burning through the memory banks, when they were actually fighting the Vex on Europa.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, just so long as I'm on the same page. Yep, sorry.
Now, for Banshee to have 44 resets and his memory to be affected that badly, I just don't think that's possible. Not for Elsie to have 815 resets, say, and not be affected at all.
Yeah, because if you remember, there was a one of the web lores that was Anna going to, I guess, a Clovis Bray space station on the orbit of.
That was the Season of the Warmind web lore.
Mm-hmm. And she found an exo that I think had like 2,000 or something resets.
Yes, because it was completely nuts.
It was off the walls, crazy, like absolutely. Yes. Tried to kill her and all this other crazy stuff. So I think was
it the 13 pillory stations? The 13th was the hidden space station.
Yeah.
It was that space station. I remember now. Yeah.
And that's where she found. That's where not Elsie Bray. That's where Anna Bray found the pillory engram that she put Rasputin in.
Yes. So I definitely think your theory has some merit with, we have case A, Banshee with some memory problems, and he's only at 44 resets, and then we have crackpot McGee man over here on the space station with over 2,000 resets, and he's just absolutely lost his marbles. So
he's lost his mind, but he hasn't lost his memory. He still
yes,
remembers Anna
that is
Bray
true.
as the warden.
Yeah, because she was looking for exo candidates and that kind of thing.
The design of those specific the echoes, they weren't exos, they were echoes, because
Right.
they were designed to be grafted with a war mind consciousness.
Right, yeah.
And it's so crazy when you look at that whole process, when you think of this reference of echoes, and then some of the more darkness reference of echoes, and then when you consider that exos are built, or at least these exos are built on darkness. Not all exos are. Eta-1 being a fine exception of being built on radiance instead of clarity.
I wonder how many more. If Ada is like, if.
Sorry, has that actually been proven now?
Oh yeah, so that's in her that's in the Black Army lore when they talk about before when Ada's journal is before she's the thing, before she goes under, before she gets hurt, yeah. And what they research is actually like encounter in secret to what Clovis Bray, like not even the individual, the company does. So their catalyst that they find is actually what's called radiance, and that's, I presume, to be light based, as opposed to clarity, which is, I mean, obviously based off the darkness. Yeah.
So I wonder what they used to. Sorry, I'm going down a rabbit hole now. I just wondering what they actually used then. What was the catalyst, or in clarity control space? What did they have, a light statue?
I'm not sure.
To be honest, that's a very light rabbit hole, and probably not best to go down tonight. Otherwise we'll be here hours.
I mean, I'm here for it because that's good radio. But,
yes.
I don't mean to. I think the fundamental difference kind of comes between where the Black Armory was influenced as opposed to Clovis Bray.
Yeah, well, we know Helga Rasmussen actually worked on the the Exo program before she actually joined the Black Armory.
Yes.
And she was a confidant of Clovis.
Yep.
But I'd be interested to see what they actually write in law to actually fully confirm, because I'd not actually realised that. I knew she was different, but I'd always wondered how they actually ran the clarity. I just presumed that Helga had actually maybe stolen some alkahest from the or she had still had somebody there she could steal the alkahest from.
I think they got around it.
I don't know, because I just quickly read over the Black Armory pages, and there's no reference of radiance in the Black Armory pages.
I was going to say, because I've read that book quite a few times now. I didn't think there was, unless it's on a weapon or armor lore.
Yeah, no, the only reference of radiance in Season of the Forge is the Obsidian Accelerator quest. And that's when Ada, I guess, becomes all radiance-y, because you fix her. Which makes sense.
Well, yeah, once you restore her memory cores, I feel like that makes the biggest difference. Like the biggest difference, I think, between Ada, because especially if you look in her exo construction, she's so much more modular.
Yeah, I definitely agree that she is different, but we don't really know How?
She's much
Well-
more elegant
well-
than the actual standard
well-
EXO
well-
because the
Well-
standard EXO is more of a tool.
Yeah, so I actually wanted to lend this to something you said earlier, Arf.
Mhm.
I would argue that Ada is the Rolls Royce. She is the handcrafted EXO. Anything
Yeah,
else we
I will
see,
go with that.
yeah, anything else we see, whether it's top of the line or not, is still production line.
Yeah, I would actually
I
go with that.
agree.
Actually, Ada 1 is the Rolls Royce. She is your coach built, handcrafted.
Fancy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Whereas your Banshee and your Elsie are more like, say, the top of the range Aston Martin, where it's still hand built, but it's more production line.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we do know from the dead exos that you find scattered around in Europa that Elsie did get a custom exo frame.
Yes.
So,
And we also know that Banshee was constructed to be Clovis, so we just know that he would have the best.
yeah. So like they're still like, very, I guess their production line, but then they also have like their tweaks made to more fit the person, because especially with the Bray family, and Clovis, like you said, he wants best for his family and nothing else.
Absolutely. I really think the comparison is really interesting, especially with Clovis Bray's sort of like hunt for clarity, which is, ironic. Not ironic. Not the word ironic. That's not what I mean, because we totally expect it to be that type of thing. But it's totally appropriate in his search for how to transpose the Alcahest into clarity, so that he can use the darkness to make the exos. One thing I'm very interested in, though, to Arf's point, in terms of the mass-produced versus what I'll call sort of upscale models on the assembly line, there's note in the lore that Elsie's body shape in the EXO is close to what she had as a human. And I think that's to your point, saying like she got like special treatment, like she's in like the upscale model with all the upgrades. But that really hurts me. Do you guys think that the base model is sort of like a mid-hip, like, yeah, I hope this is close to what you had, like one size fits all type of thing? Is that what our Guardian's dealing with?
There'll be a certain amount of customization there. You can have different colors, you can have different platings, but you'll be very limited. It's like picking well, there's a lot of car references in here, but it's like picking your interior for your car. If you get a brand new car, I want this interior, I want this color, I want these wheels, I want this engine.
Yeah, definitely.
But the further you get up the bespoke or the grade of the car, you go into a Ford dealership and you get about, say, 6 options. You go into, say, an Aston Martin or a Mercedes dealership and you get a raft of options that nobody would normally have. You get your umbrellas hidden. Sorry, do you call them umbrellas across there?
Umbrellas in what context?
As in, you shelter underneath them for hide from the rain.
Yes, we do call them umbrellas.
Yes, right. Wasn't sure. I thought I'd better check.
Are they called different things elsewhere?
I don't know. It's best to check sometimes.
I concur.
Yeah, no,
We're commonly, to quote Winston Churchill, we're commonly a people divided by a common language. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, but in higher grade cars, you'll get umbrellas actually hidden in the door. So when you get out, you can pull your umbrella out your door. Get out, you won't get wet. It's simple things like that. That's another option that you wouldn't get with your standard run-of-the-mill Fords. So the higher grade or more expensive chassis, the more options you get on it. And the run-of-the-mill stuff, like you see Cade and maybe like Lakshmi, they would have just picked I want blue eyes, I want
my beautiful horn.
Maybe they get yeah. And that's the few options they get.
Ooh, kind of like us at character creation.
Yeah, but we can't have beards.
Oh, not yet. Not yet. I'm holding out for it because, like, I myself, like, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I am a bald, and so as a bald, a beard is my, like, head hair expression as an individual, and so I've missed it.
You're not bald. Your hair migrated south.
I mean, yes. I mean, we could also say it ran away from the sun or my face. Either way. Well, no, it ran to my face. That's a different story.
Beautiful.
It just loved me too much. It just it came down.
Now I go through various stages of beard, and it just depends what mood my wife's into, whether I have to shave it off or not.
Oh,
you guys
man.
are funny.
That's actually funny. My partner Kari, I shaved it off earlier in COVID, and it made me look like a kid again. And
no.
I have a picture. Well, I have a picture on my Instagram. My Insta is the same as my Twitter. But I have like a thick jaw, but like a skinny chin, so things kind of like come down to a point. And like between that and like the glasses I was wearing that were just kind of big for my shaven face, I looked like a little kid wearing their dad's glasses. That's
hilarious.
So you got a photo of you on your knees and she's holding your hand while she stood up.
Oh, I mean, not one that I'm sharing with the public, but I'm not going to say it doesn't exist.
Oh goodness. What is with people? Reality shattered. What's wrong? Everything's wrong. No,
I know. Now we're in this brave new
No. I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. I'm turning the boat around. We're going back.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank
going
you.
back to civilization.
Thank you, Mon Capitan. Thank you.
There you go. I am El Capitan.
Thank you. But going back to this, one thing I really find interesting, and I think I brought this up in the pre-show. I don't know if I brought it up in the show, so like stop me if I have already. But one thing that I think really lends to the theory is Banshee logging in the tower as previous reboots of himself. Now, if you circle down on the stairs below Banshee, listeners, you can scan an object on there, and it's like, oh, like Banshee 43, 44, like which one, like he's failing to log in because he doesn't remember which Banshee he is. If you go back to a couple seasons ago, when Europa came out, you find out all of Banshee's resets happened back on Europa before he ever came to the tower, before he was ever released into the wild.
And I believe this was before the collapse as well.
Yes, this was...
Well, could be post. We don't... So, the beginning of it is definitely, like, pre, but one of the things that you find out that they do is that they were trying to make it to where they were trying to get to this signal tower, this communications tower, and stop a communication that basically would
send the Vex to Earth.
The Vex or the darkness to Earth, and they failed in that goal. And so to me that signals like the beginning of the collapse, right?
So Clovis could have actually caused the collapse by sending the darkness to Earth.
Or accelerated it, right?
Yeah.
Clovis break causes the collapse of society.
Right? So yeah, he definitely didn't like stand up in his outpost. So that's where I'm coming from. I think there's like a conjunctive thing there, but I don't know like where it ends because they're closing that gate, and I don't know how long each run took. Because basically, after they fail that collapse starting, that's when they start the infinite assault, basically on that Vex gate.
Yep. And so they stop the gate. They stop the Vex and not the darkness. But to counter that slightly, if you go back to the Black Armory papers again, there's a passage in that where Ada meets another Exo, and they've got a couple in the village, but it's mentioned it's very rare to see them. So my guess is they like you say, it is either. Well, it's not really countering. It's kind of actually, now I think about it more, it's actually kind of reinforcing your point that it could be that Legacy's Lament is straddling pre and post collapse.
Right.
At the end of Legacy's Lament, where they take the Exos back to Earth, or the surviving Exos back to Earth, and that's when they start popping up at post collapse.
Right.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think the timeline fits.
That's definitely where I am. Where I am kind of for it, because I feel like, I definitely feel like that story with just to the points you guys just made, with the beginning to the end, I feel like there's not an infinite amount of time, because obviously he's been there since the city's been rebuilt. So a couple hundred years, right? Like, just there alone. And that's like a ballpark. I'm sure it's like a couple 300. Because
the entire collapse is a couple of 100 years.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Banshee's time in the last city as it's been built.
Oh.
And
I think he's been there from close to the beginning.
Right, but how old is the last city? It's like 200-300 years?
Yeah.
Right.
Now, he's certainly very good friends with Cade, and Cade's been there a long time.
I think Cade's been there since the beginning.
Exactly. So that tells me Banshee's been there from the beginning as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that makes it all the more sad when Banshee asks you how Cade is doing.
You've seen Cade? Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Like, well, yeah, I have, but... Ooh.
Not recently, because he's dead.
Yeah. I'm still going to be all torn up. I still say with Quarry running around and with, the Vex running wild especially, but especially with the Deepstone Crypt finally exposed. Dudes. If and when someone finds, especially the Vex, finds the copy of Cade, who's to say they won't do the same thing they did with Maya Sundarash and make a Terminator Cade? It won't be arcade. I concur.
It won't have the memories.
I concur.
After his last download. I think all Exo's downloads have been suspended since the Deepstone Crypt went offline.
I would agree with that. That's been a long-standing theory that I have, is that the dream that they have that leads to them just destroying their memories is sort of because dreams are naturally something that your brain does to just kind of make sense of your transition of short-term into long-term memory. And if those uploads are your like permanent long-term memory, this dream of these being destroyed as you upload them with nowhere to go kind of makes sense.
It was almost kind of like a dreamscape of telling them to do an upload, but they can't.
Exactly. And so it's like their dream sequence is of these memories being deleted.
Yes, or processed and put into archived would probably be a better term for it.
Well, that's
not actually
the
deleted,
intent, right?
Put there. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the intended purpose, but with the Deepstone Crypt shut down, then it becomes these memories are going nowhere, but you're still running the process as an Exo. And so you have this dream of you deleting your own friends from your own memories.
Again, and that could be another option in the Exos. Bigger memory storage.
Can we give them an attachable SSD?
Not make them run faster and load quicker.
Exactly. Exos will load first into every encounter from now on.
I'll have an advantage.
Where do we store it, though? Is it like cooling on the shoulder so you can sport it like an iPhone 10 years ago?
Oh, God.
Or is it...
Kate Horn. That's his SSD.
There you go. You got your SSD plugged right into your forehead.
That's right. It's part of your hat now. It plugs right in. It just does its thing. Oh, that's one thing I've always wondered about Exos. Like, all the drama aside, do they have upgradable storage?
No.
Do they have ports? Like, not in the sexual sense, pervs. Yes, they have the sexual ports. We're not talking about that.
Oh, goodness.
We're talking about, do they have, like, can I interface with machines? Can I, can the machine upgrade myself? With me? Oh, my. No. Sorry, I said we weren't doing that. Sorry.
You guys are terrible.
They've been thinking that till Taylor mentioned it.
I didn't mean to.
How could you do this? How could this happen?
I was on USB and USB-C.
Oh no. USB-C, it doesn't matter which way you plug it. Anyway. I'm awful.
Live in the darkest timeline.
We are.
No. I'm so upset. I just read in the patch notes that they changed how bright the hunter cloak is with certain shaders, and it's so much...
Wait, which hunter cloak? The
Guardian Games one that made
what?
It really...
Yeah.
Apparently it was
interfering with... Apparently it was interfering in Crucible and nobody could hit them.
No, I find it hard to believe standing out and having something hyper bright made you harder to hit.
Yeah, because it gave you almost like a glow that made you look bigger, so they'd miss more.
I don't know.
I feel like...
I don't quite understand, but people were saying that...
I believe them. You ever hear a problem that sounds like it's for someone who's way better at the game than you? Because that's how I feel right now.
Fixed an issue where applying certain shaders to Hunter Guardian Games ornament would cause it to glow too brightly and dim out other armor items. But I liked being an obnoxious glow stick. I prided myself on my Hunter's obnoxious... I mean, it's still bright, but it's not as bright.
It's not bright like a diamond anymore?
It's still very bright, but not as bright. I just saw that in the pattern and I was like, wait, I have to go look at my Hunter. Sorry for the random aside there.
That's not random, that's important. Because if they're making you go dimmer, I can only imagine if anyone was wearing the Deepstone Crypt armor as a hunter with that cape, who is just the brightest star in the sky, who just got a whole lot dimmer.
I think, I don't know, now I want to see if I can I would do Vogue as my hunter and be obnoxious like this, but I could not. We would have too many hunters.
So would you guys...
Literally would.
I gotta ask. Our guest, Arf, what is your main class?
Hunter.
Alright, you're on the right side of history, sir.
The right side of history.
I have been a day one hunter. From D1.
Groovy. Well, you're in good company. Except for Lucy, who's now a Titan man.
I don't know what I am. I'm having a midlife crisis, okay?
I occasionally flirt with the Titan when I just want to be a troll in the Crucible and run Actium War Rig and sweet business.
What?
Ah, I see. See, what I do in Crucible, this is terrible.
I am the AC-130 on the ground, just shooting anything and everything. And don't stop, ever.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I have all the bullets.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
See, what I do in Crucible, which is arguably much, much, much worse, I run Middle Tree Titan with really high discipline, and I run Armamentarium, which gives you 2 grenades, and I run Suppression grenades, and a gun with Demolitionist, because I hate abilities. You can't use Stasis if you're suppressed, haha, suckers.
I've got to admit, one
Oh.
of my best memories was Gambit. We got invaded on the drill map. I can't remember what it's called. And I was stood in the centre by the bank, and I just saw this hunter pop his arc strider in steps, and I just spun round. And I think he expected me to run out of ammunition. I just stood there and shot him down, and he just flopped dead at my feet. It was amazing.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I love Gambit. I normally do Gambit as my hunter though, and I run Scout SMG sniper, and then the cheesy McCheese rocket, Eyes of Tomorrow, and 6-shot Goldie.
I don't have that yet. I use Truth instead. I get hate mail.
Truth is also really good. I like Eyes because I just aim down sights for a second, shoot it. They're all adios. They're all dead. I think it's kind of funny.
I may
As
try
terrible as it is,
Deathbringer
I
again
love.
once I get the catalyst done.
Deathbringer with the catalyst is crazy. It might be the most for DPS, so I highly recommend
I read that.
It
I
can
dropped the
get pretty
catalyst
crazy.
on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? No, today's Tuesday.
Last Tuesday.
Sunday.
Ah.
No, I dropped the catalyst for Deathbringer on Sunday, and I've yet to actually do anything with it. I don't. Currently, this is one of the reasons why I stepped down as clan leader. Is I have 2 young children. I've got a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, and
See.
I wish I had the time to spend as much time as I would like to actually play as much Destiny as I can. But there's got to be a balance, and family comes first, unfortunately.
You are making, if there is any stronger argument than what you just said as to why you should be a guardian on res, that just made it like that is 100% the right choice, sir.
Thank you.
100%. Like, I can't. Oh man, I don't know, man. I really appreciate you saying that. Like, I didn't I didn't have the most attentive household growing up, so hearing someone trying to be a parent.
I was in very much a similar situation when I was growing up, and I didn't have this. And I won't be the one to turn around to my kids and say, no, because I'm doing this. You go and fend for yourself. It's like, no, you want help, I'll give you help.
Dude, like, more
that's
power
fair.
to you. Yeah, more power to you. Like, 100% in support. And if and when you can play, and if it's at weird hours for you, it might not be for me. Hit me up. I'm on all the stuff. I will run stuff with you and bring you up on stuff when you can play. Like, 100%. No questions asked.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Because, hang on, sorry, I'm trying to do something else here as well at the same time, and I just completely lost my train of thought there.
It's okay. It's okay. No,
Community, that's what I want.
I really gotta say, like, all the dads in the community, all the Destiny people who are also all the moms and all the family members who are also dealing with real world stuff, who still find time to contribute and support each other. Just and I know Lucy, you back me up on this. Just if there's anything that like I or we can do to like put that back out in the world, like fuck yeah, man. Like I said, man, you're 100% the right choice. If it's Destiny and spending formative years with your kids, like yeah, be 100% good dad. And as we commiserated, not everyone had that. So as someone who didn't, it really rings true to me that you're making that choice for your family.
Just put my friend's code in the chat as well.
Oh, groovy.
Nice.
And if you're on Xbox, I'm on there under the same gamer tag.
Groovy.
Cool.
Yeah, no.
I'm on both.
Yeah,
Xbox
I got you.
and PC.
I got you on everything here in a sec. 100%.
Sweet.
100%. Oh, man. So, guys.
More friends.
Yeah, no, and dude, just if you see me online, just at me. Chances are I can play. So, you have carte blanche. For our friends who don't speak Spanish.
Isn't that French?
It is. That's why I'm being an idiot.
Okay. That one went straight over my head.
Oh, no, it didn't. You caught it very appropriately. You got very appropriately. You're 100% on board. You were saying, Lucy? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
No worries.
I was trying to understand what you were saying in French, but you said it was Spanish, so my brain was like, I don't know if that's Spanish. That doesn't sound Spanish to me.
I did a curveball absurdism, if that makes any sense. It drives my partner nuts. So it's not you guys, it's me, 100%.
How could this happen?
How could I do this habitually?
How could you do this?
But guys, I to circle back. I think it's time to give this theory a score.
There you score.
So
Right. Okay.
so I'm going to start with you, Lucy. Let's start with you, Lucy. In terms of Banshee being on a loop at a time release, in terms that like he remembers or helps out the Guardian specifically, I think to your point, Arf, with time gated things as they succeed along what I think the ultimate argument is a successful timeline. What score of whatever unit do you give it?
I give it 75 Vex Mines.
Oh snap!
I mean, I think it's pretty interesting because like I didn't really like think about it. Like I never really like put any thought into why Banshee conveniently remembers the stuff exactly when we need to. It's like I just was like, oh, it's a gameplay mechanic, but they do say that like pretty much a good chunk of like even the patch notes are technically like the Crucible vendors or the other like making changes on weapons and stuff. Like I remember there was a D1 lore entry where people were complaining to Shax about the Suros weapons. Like, you need to buff the Suros weapons. He's like, no, I'm not going to push back or revert the firmware patch on the Suros regime. So it's like even stuff like that, like darkness zones are canon. Like pretty much everything in the game is canon. So I think it's a good theory. What about you guys?
Well, I don't mean to be pedantic, but you didn't give it a score.
I did give it a score. I gave it 55 Vex Mines.
Oh, okay. I then am sorry for my pedanticisms. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna save you for last, man. I give this 11T.
11T?
11T97.
That's not a
11T97.
That's not a
That is a number.
That's
Just
not
because
how
you don't
numbers-
like it doesn't mean that's
That's
not a
how
number.
numbers work. That's not how
Don't
numbers
you?
work.
It is 11T97.
What?
Plausibilities. Or actually veracities. I give it veracities because you made a lot of very good points at different points of the lore that actually connect to this theory. Especially what struck out to me was pointing out that Banshee, his time gate with Leviathan's Breath, and now with different weapons each season that he's apparently had. And especially Leviathan's Breath, it was in his fucking room.
Which he didn't even remember where that was.
Yeah, he didn't remember where his room was. Where is he sleeping? What is he even doing? And it bothers me because I
that's
played...
the problem with this theory. The more you think about it, the more plausible it becomes.
Or I honestly think that's the... I think that's the strength of it, not the problem.
Well, it is a problem for me because I kind of make... I have to wear ear protection a lot of the time at work. Mm-hmm. So I've got my headphones in and I listen to so much lore. It's unreal. And literally, I sit there and this is how my mind makes weird connections. But then I actually think about them and think, well, actually, no, that's plausible. I know Orchid on Guardians of Lore hates my theories. It's brilliant.
She loves to hate your theories.
Oh, possibly, yeah. That's possibly more like it.
I feel like, yeah. If you've gotta, if you've gotta be the Bill Paxton of lore theories. That's not the worst. That's not the worst. Oh, rest in peace. A year ago today, Bill Paxton. Sorry, guys. That's why I thought about that. Arf, please score your theory, my sir.
73 memory wipes.
73 memory wipes. Uh-oh. Memory wipes are bad, though. Or are they?
Oh, can you call them resets?
73 resets?
Yee.
I think that could do. 73 resets? 73 exo resets?
Yeah, we'll go with 73 exo resets.
That's the most exo resets we've ever had scored on this show, Lucy.
Yes.
I'm totally editing out the part where I forgot to give you the chance to score. I'm so sorry. I got so excited. Well. I'm so excited. But that's why I'm so happy that this isn't live. Oh, man. So you just gave your terrific score. Sir, you got any shout-outs?
Shout out to Night Demon, Parody, and Respawn for putting up with me on the Two Titans and Hunter podcast, where I try and teach them lore, and sometimes I'm pulling out my hair.
Yes.
And to Valkyrie and Wildblood, who's Valkyrie who took over running the Xbox clan, and Wildblood who took over running overall control of the whole clan, PC and Xbox.
Cool.
Yo, I really dig those shoutouts, man. Like given especially gives like some clarity to the beginning statements of the show. Like that's what's up. Lucy, you got any shoutouts, my dude?
Shoutouts, frack. I'm always bad at these.
You're great at them because it's a like just make as long as it comes from the heart.
I guess shout out to, this is gonna sound really funny. So I have a friend and he took a break from Destiny. And like a 6-month break. Like when I mean a 6-month break, I mean he deleted his Twitter. He like basically went off the face of the earth. And I was really sad, but now he's back. It's like a shout out to my friend, I guess, for coming back to Destiny and making me laugh all the time. He's funny. He's absolutely hilarious.
Nice.
He's great.
That makes me happy. I'm always glad when people come back for new content. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah. No, it's all good. Like, he would have been on our VOG team, but he has an exam that day for college, so he's like, I would.
Is this
He's
is
like,
this the guy whose spot I filled in?
Yeah.
So
took a
I
spot.
want to mirror. I didn't take a spot.
You didn't take a spot.
I
No,
try.
no.
I try my best to fill in his shoes.
Exactly. Well, you better do good because he's pretty
Slightly
good.
different. Well,
pressure,
I
no
mean,
pressure.
I don't mean to toot my own horn, but yo, I'm no slouch myself. I want to give a shout out to him as well. For and to you guys and the rest of the raid team to mirror that. For giving me a chance to jump in on your day one awesome
Yeah.
awesome
And we are
tries
starting at exactly when reset is.
on Saturday, right?
Yeah,
On Saturday. Yep.
Yeah.
the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
The 22nd. Yes.
We have about 6 teams running from the clan.
Jesus, that's crazy. Yeah.
No.
Our clan,
So,
like a lot of people.
Good luck to all of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, I feel so timid now offering you like someone to play with. Like you have so many.
No. No, I really do appreciate it because a lot of the PC clan is actually on Eastern.
Oh, groovy. Yeah. No. There's yeah. For what it's worth, if you see me online, I can probably play. So yeah, I give my shout out like mirroring Lucy to the raid team coming up. Especially thank you guys for like welcoming me in. I thought we
no
had.
problem.
I'm not sure how many of them were there for that little last wish raid we did, but that went pretty smooth.
Yeah, that was pretty. I think from that, I was obviously I was there. Duh.
Yes, he was.
I'm so smart. I was all there totally. It was myself. I think Psycho was there, right?
I think.
Dang.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Psycho. She's gonna be there.
Groovy.
A lot. Awkward Dave. He's
Awkward Dave.
gonna be. Yeah, the newbie. I'm not saying he's our
Great
weakest.
name.
I'm not saying
It's
he's
a
our
great
weakest
name.
link. I'm not saying it's our weakest link, but
As
he's
long
new.
as you're not saying I am.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't really seen you do that many raids, man. I
Oh,
can raid
man.
report you right now. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man.
I'm kidding.
Please, like if we want to go keep taking Taylor on raids till he gets his eyes of tomorrow, I will shine if I have to.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I mean, I know. My buddy Eric still needs to do, the raid, so
Yeah, let's.
I'm down to do it. I need to get a better succession, anyways.
Let's do it.
Bonk.
I'm here for it.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Aside from that, I just want to give a shout out to everyone in the world to stay safe. There's a lot of like heinous shit going on with attacking of families and places, and I hope that you're not part of that. So not to be too heavy, and bring everyone else into my own political shit here. But yeah, I just hope everyone is safe.
Yeah, same.
It's Taylor's shout out there. Yeah. So guys, that out of the way, I want to thank our guest again. Arf, thank you so much for finally being on the show, and I really hope I made it clear, like, stick around on the show only Discord. You are more than welcome, and pop in with ideas, pop in and out. It's slower go because
You're
it's
going to regret this, especially when you revealed that Clovis Bray had possibly caused the collapse.
Whoopsies.
No. My mind is ticking over now.
We're super jazzed to have you there. Finally proper.
I was going to say I've been chilling in your other Discord for a long while.
Well, yeah, the show's a little separated from that one now. But speaking of Discords, we actually have there is a Spinfoil channel that we will be funneling to and posting in the Lore Hub. network now.
Up on the net.
Yeah. So guys, like, if you're a fan of the show, if you want to add us in a Discord that you know that we're on, we are 100% on the Lore Hub Discord. You can find a link from Guardians of Lore or Focus Fire Chat. The Spinfoil Theorists.
I've been one of the mods on there for quite some time now.
I think that might be how you caught wind of this back in the old FFC.
FFC is responsible for a lot because they're how I found Guardians of Lore as well.
I can dig it, but yeah, that is the official way. If you wanna pop in and like interact with us, add us, or just share Spinfoil theories. Like it's not just about this show. It's about the Spinfoil. It's about the having fun with the game lore. Please, if you want to add us to find your way to the Discord, or if you want to reach out to some of our sister networks, Guardians of Lore, Focus Fire Chat, and find the link to the Discord that way. All avenues are great because you're gonna either have a great time or have a great time. There's no two ways about it, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, please come check us out. Add us there. If you ever want to have maybe a different kind of conversation outside of more popular social media. Yeah. That's super awesome. Super awesome. So with that, guys, Arf, thank you again so much for joining us. I really hope you'll join us again in the future.
Oh, I definitely will. But if you normally record on a Tuesday or Wednesday, when I've got my Wednesdays off, I'll definitely be in.
I can dig it, and I don't know if everyone knows, this is actually we're spanning, I think, a full 8 hours between all of us.
Yeah, it's nearly midnight here.
Yeah, and then for me it's about 7:30, and then I think for you, Lucy, that makes it about 4:30.
4:30 right now. It's really weird. Time is weird. It hurts my brain. Time is weird. It hurts my brain.
Well, the sun never sets on the Spinfoil Theory podcast. So wherever you're listening from, thank you so much for joining us again. Thank you to our guests. Thank you to my fellow host Lucy, and everyone else. Thank you for joining us this week. Hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Doodles.
Good night.
That's the end of this week's topic, but be sure to check out our past and future episodes on Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. If you have any questions about this week's topic, want to discuss Destiny lore with us, or just feel like reaching out, you can find us on Twitter @Spinfoil Theory, or you can email us via spinfoiltheory@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Toodles!